But actually, my name's Tony Sykes. I did put comedy on there, but John already took care of that, so I'll go ahead and switch hats. And maybe what I can do is provide a little mentoring and coaching on success principles. I would have written that down, but I figured people would have thought that translates to intermission and the door would have been. But there's, and if I was standing there or sitting there and had some guy in front of me going, I'm going to tell you about success, I go, well, what's he know about it? Well, I did survive 20 years of the United States Navy. I retired from the Navy after 20 years. As an intelligence analyst. I know, military intelligence, I know those jokes. Like, I'll tell you, but I have to kill you. That was not my job. My job was so secret, I didn't know what I was doing. But the success principles, after I got out of the Navy, I tried a couple of things. I tried being retired. I discovered $1,200 does not go a long way for retiring. So I attempted retail. Best Buy during the holiday seasons. Didn't work. So I tried, corporate America. I shifted over to that. I put my ladder up against the wall and I started climbing and the building collapsed. But it all worked out. I ended up in the education field. And through that, I ended up being introduced to a very successful entrepreneur down in Johnson City, Tennessee. And he, for whatever reason, stroke of luck, turn of a friendly card, divine intervention, the 9mm I had at his head, he took me under his wing and started teaching me and coaching me on the success principles he teaches. So the first one I want to talk about is control. One that I have to give some control over you if I start running this too long, because really if you boil it all down, there's only two things we can control. Our attitude and our actions. And fortunately, most of the time, the attitude's going to drive the action. And the best example that I can think of in this is a couple that I know, my friends, have twins. Adorable little boys. They're absolutely identical. Yeah, dress them up in little twinsies outfits. It'd be impossible to tell which one's which, except you'd have to get one to stop smiling and one to stop frowning. So the dad decided at one point, it's like, I've got to kind of get these guys on track somehow. Gus is gloomy Gus. He is just too down and out all the time. He's a little boy and he's stressed out and worried about everything. Meanwhile, Sonny is living up to his name. He's just Sonny all the time. So the dad comes up with an experiment. So there he is standing at the doorway. The kids get off the bus. He's like, come on, I got to show you something, Takes the boys inside, goes to the living room, down the hall, goes to Gus's door, throws the door open. Gus goes in. What the? The room is just filled with games and toys. And Gus says, Dad, where am I going to put all this stuff? Half of these things need batteries. Did you bring batteries? Do you have batteries? Where am I going to put? Oh, I have such a headache. Mom says, a lot. So the dad's like, he's flabbergasted. He's like, what do I do with this? Just look and see if there's anything there you like. Sonny, come on, let's go check out your room. And they go down there, and the dad throws the door open, and in Sonny's room is about 1.5 tons of horse manure. Sonny looks up at Dad, eyes are like huge, and he dives into the room. He jumps into this pile of manure. It's flying. It's going everywhere. He's digging in. It's splattering on the walls. It's hitting the windows. Yes, it hit the fan. And the dad's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the kid stops, turns around, looks at him. Dad, with this much horse poop in here, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere. So right there, Sonny's attitude controls his actions. And our mentor is always telling us positive mental attitude. He can say that. He's pulling like a 6 or something figure income. That's him. The other success principle that I really like talking about, because I like watching people cringe, is taking personal responsibility. we've gone through such an era of the blame game. I work at Clark Summit Elementary, and I'm starting to see it change. It's not as much finger pointing as I used to see. But there is a lot of finger pointing. Everybody wants to find somebody else to blame. It's like, I can't be wrong. I started studying some different philosophies, though, and discovered if you do take personal responsibility, you actually save yourself a lot of time and effort. You save yourself a lot of energy. You're not wasting time looking for somebody to point that finger at. So I guess one of the best examples I got for that, and don't hold my friends against me. Just because I'm friends with somebody, it's not no guilt by association. Don't hold it against me. But so this gentleman gets pulled over, and the trooper, y'all have state police, right? I grew up in Florida. They're troopers, state troopers. So the trooper comes up to the guy's window, he rolls it down, he's like, "Sir, it seemed like you were having some trouble controlling your vehicle. I think we're going to need to do a breathalyzer on you." And this guy's like, "Oh, nope, can't do that, nope." "Why not, sir?" "I have asthma. I try to blow into that thing, I have an asthma attack, can't breathe, suffocate, die. It's your fault. They'll blame you." "Okay. All right, we'll just put you in the car, take you down to the station, we'll do a blood test on you." "Oh, no. Can't do that." "Why not, sir? Why not?" "My hemophiliac. You take me down there, you poke my finger, start bleeding, I bleed to death. It's your fault. I die. They blame you." "All right, sir. Fine. We're just old school. Just step out of your car, walk this line." "Why not, sir?" "I'm drunk." So like I said, you can't hold it against me who my friends are, okay? But it's personal responsibility. That person was responsible for his own action when he decided to go into law enforcement. It was his responsibility when he turned off his alarm clock, got in his uniform, and went to work that day. It was his responsibility that he saw this guy and pulled him over. So I think that's probably good on my time, so I'm going to save the third one. So if something else comes up, I'll fill some more time
you
for
can't
you.
leave us like that. Go ahead, just tell it.
Okay. The third one, it's like in life and business, one of the primary success principles is you have to have a goal. You're going somewhere, you might as well pick where that's going to be and decide for yourself, this is my goal. Some of my team, we use the term vision, some corporations use the term mission, but you really need to know what it is because it's going to help you overcome obstacles. Because quite often to achieve a goal, you're going to suffer. There's going to be pain. It's like another one of my travels in the Navy. I was stationed up in Washington State. I was in D.C., but that's boring. But up there, instead of the sandy beaches on the North Pacific coastline, you've got those rocky pebble beaches and the driftwood and the cliffs. It's gorgeous. But I had a friend up there, and this guy was having the bad day of bad days. You know, power went out, he woke up, the alarm clock's flashing 12. I see enough gray hair in here that people know that you can have an alarm clock and not something on your phone. So he jumps out of bed, gets dressed, gets in the car, gets to work. He's still a little bit late, and of course the boss is standing there going, of course the boss actually had a watch. Boss steps into his office. My guy goes over to his computer, sits down, turns it on, and of course what happens? Updating. It's been happening all week with the update, so he's already behind from all week. He's behind today because the alarm, everything. There's always a problem. So a few minutes later, the boss comes over, this big old file, and drops it on his desk. He says, "I need that by lunch." "Yes, sir, got it." So he's sitting there waiting for the computer. He decides, well, I didn't have breakfast because I ran out of the house this morning. So he goes into the break room, goes to get a cup of coffee. There's no coffee. Not just no coffee made, but no coffee. He's going through the cabinets. There's nothing in there. Nothing at all. Goes over, flips open the donut box. No donuts. So he goes back, he sits down. The screen on his computer is blank. And it was the last straw. He snapped. He just grabbed his car keys, left the building, didn't mutter a word to a single soul, left. And here's the reason I mentioned the beaches in Washington, because that's where he went. He's like, I got to get out of here. I got to go. So he goes down, parks at the beach, gets out, and he's walking around. He's kicking the rocks. He's kicking around, and he kicks something that's not a rock, and he stops, and he looks, and he picks it up. And it's a bottle. It's just this fancy-looking little vase bottle. He's thinking, well, I'm about to be fired. I can use all the money I can get. Maybe I can sell it and get some money. And he starts wiping it off, and poof! Yeah, you expected it. There's the genie. You knew it was coming. Of course, the genie says, you get 3 wishes. Ah, but I can sense a darkness on your heart. Your boss. You're angry with your boss. And I go, duh. Well, you have 3 wishes, but understand this. Whatever you wish for, your boss gets twice. He will get double anything you ask for. Back and forth, kicking rocks. Got it. Just give me $1 billion. You have $1 billion? Boss has 2. Fine. He looks out and he notices the calm water out there and the far horizon, the cliffs. There's an area up there in Washington called the Puget Sound. If you ever get a chance to go, go. He's like, I want the world's best yacht. Poof. There's a yacht floating offshore. Boss gets 2. He's pacing back and forth, pacing back and forth. Grins. He walks over, picks up this big piece of driftwood, looks at it, bounces it on his knee a couple of times. Yeah, this'll do. Walks up to the genie and says, I have my 3rd wish. The genie takes this piece of driftwood and looks at it and says, what's your wish? Beat me half to death. You gotta go through a little pain to achieve your goals.